John chapter 4, in the 4th verse, an interesting comment is made that Jesus had to go through Samaria. No, he didn't. In fact, he had to not go through Samaria. He's not supposed to go through Samaria. There's a pathway from the south to the north that goes around the lake every Jew would take. No one goes through Samaria. What do you mean you have to go through Samaria? Jesus had to go through Samaria, not because it was the path he had to take, but it was because it was the path his Spirit called him on, and he must take it. For he would meet there, as you remember, a woman. By the way, by the end of this little story, or at least the back end of this little story, we'll hit verse 27 in John 4, in which the disciples will return from having gone, and they will be surprised because they find Jesus talking to a Samaritan. That's not the surprise, because they find Jesus talking to a woman for this whole time. In this story, Jesus will ask for a drink of water. And the woman will be surprised. She came to draw water. You're a Jew. I'm a Samaritan woman. You come and you ask me for a drink. She's not just a Samaritan woman. She's a Samaritan woman who has no particular identity. Why would we say such a thing? Scholars actually believe that we're a little too hasty to point out that this woman was probably a little bit loose, that she probably slept around, that she was bouncing from man to man to man. There was a bouncing from man to man, but scholars suggest that most likely what has happened here with this woman is a combination of having been cast aside by her husband, or having lost a husband to death, and another husband, and another husband, and another husband, so that by the time she sits here with Jesus, she's living in the home of a benefactor who is not her husband. And in that society at that time, this woman has no identity because she has no husband. You ask me for a drink? I'm a nobody. I'm a nothing. And Jesus steers straight into her nothingness and says, you know what? Yeah, that's right. You don't have a husband. I know all about it. As if to say, I so know all about it that you can read back into my request for a drink from you that I value you for you. Not a husband, not your lack of a husband. And what will ensue is an incredibly deep conversation about salvation and worship and belonging. One of the most amazing conversations you'll find in the telling of Jesus' story. This, the longest conversation in Scripture. And what will happen is she will leap from her conversation to rush back to her hometown, her city, forgetting all about why she came, leaving her bottle, her pot of water back there. She will go to this city and she will be excited. She'll be so excited, and I don't know exactly how she does it. Maybe she is filled with the gifts of the Spirit, so that whole city will follow this nothing woman out to see Jesus. And it is our first real story of effective evangelism for the cause of Christ.
Hi, I'm Dave Ferguson. I'm the pastor of the Collegedale Church here on the campus of Southern Adventist University. You know, it seems to me this world is a mess, more than ever. And in the midst of it, the questions that are boiling up, we wonder, does Jesus have anything relevant to say about the problem in my life, the difficulty you're struggling with? I think he does. And I'd like to welcome you to subscribe to this YouTube channel as we explore the relevance of Jesus Christ in the everyday life of you and me. So subscribe, click the button.